Welcome to Bar Chat. That's where it's at. I'm Lexi.
I'm Bianca.
And I'm Becca.
And we're chatting all things dance.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about injury as a dancer.
I guess I'll start us off because I'm the current injured one right now.
Yes.
So
Lexi is
my
dealing with
big
a
toe
very...
is broken. My right big toe. I've been telling them for a while now. And let me tell you why I think it's broken. It's been hurting me for a long time. But then my friend and I, so you know how like we call like feet dogs?
Yes.
And it's like, oh, like dogs, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So my friend and I.
thing you do.
I know. So my friend and I, we were looking at like pictures of like me as a dancer and like my dance company, and we were just like looking at like everyone's like dogs, and we're like, point your dogs. So ever since we started like looking at feet more, I've been like very self-conscious about my dogs, like my feet. So I was like,
not your dogs.
not my dogs, because I want my feet to be like, I wanted my arches to be better. So then I started stretching my feet without like being warm or anything. And then I like went on the top of my toe and stretched something, and I feel like I just heard like a crack and like a rip.
You heard a crack?
I heard something.
It's definitely broken.
It's definitely broken. Yeah.
You didn't tell me you heard a crack.
Is it
I
your
know.
big toe?
It's my big toe.
Your right foot?
My right foot.
Ouch.
I know.
Okay, Lexi, we should check that.
Yeah, I know. Well, my feet always crack, but like this
Yeah,
was like a
mine toes
not
crack too.
normal crack, and I was like, oh. As dancers, it is very common to get injured. It happens even when you're being as careful as possible. Like there's just so many different tricks and things that you're doing in class that it's kind of inevitable to get injured at some point. So we're going to share some of our injury stories, kind of how long it took to heal, what we did to heal it, and even if like we had to sit out of dance or something like that. But we've all been through a lot of injuries, and I assume any dancer listening to us has gone through an injury as well, just because it's really hard to avoid it. But do one of you guys want to talk about?
I can start.
Okay.
I'll start with one from many years ago. I was probably a sophomore or a junior in high school, and we were doing some across the floors in ballet, and we were just walking back. Like we were walking. We weren't even dancing.
It's always like something.
It's the easiest
You
thing.
know where
so
this
you get
is
hurt.
going.
Yep.
And so I'm walking, but the Marley flooring in the room, the tape was coming up on one spot. It wasn't slicked down, which is not my fault.
Was
Obviously.
this in high school, you said?
Yeah. And I slipped my foot under it and rolled my ankle.
Ooh.
And it hurt so bad right away. And I like fell to the floor, and I had to get an ice pack. But this was like right before a performance, and I was so upset. It always happens like that.
Yeah.
It's always before like a show or a performance, I feel like.
Yeah.
For
But
me
that's when you
anyways.
don't acknowledge it, because you're like, you know what?
I'll
Like
push
I need
through
to
it.
perform. Exactly.
But this is one of the situations where I couldn't. I had to buy Uggs. Those were the only shoes I could wear just for my sprained ankle. So I went to the store and bought Uggs so I could go to school and function. And my foot was so swollen. My ankle was like
You
black
never went to
and
the
blue.
doctor?
No.
Okay, that's a good idea. Maybe don't tell
Well,
I
them
can't
to
even judge you because I have a very similar
don't
story.
hang on.
follow
I don't
what
think
Bianca's doing.
I don't think I went to the doctor because I couldn't at the time or something. But if it's not broken, don't fix it. I'm just kidding. That's bad advice. But it wasn't bad enough.
broken.
No, it was sprained. But I wrapped it and I did the whole thing for like 2 or 3 months. But
Wow.
it was so frustrating because it was so easily avoidable if you think about it. Like I was just walking. It's not like I was doing
Right.
a calypso and I fell.
Right.
Like I was walking and I sprained my ankle. But I've sprained my ankle many other times as well. That was just one that I'm like, stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I also have an ankle sprain story. So this was freshman year of college, and now I had like a couple injuries in high school, but nothing like too crazy. Like I had to wear like a knee brace, but like nothing too crazy. But freshman year of college, I was in this hip hop dance. I was on like a hip hop dance team, and we had a performance, and it was a 5-minute long dance. Within the first like 20 seconds of the dance, I did like a switch leap, and then there's a video of it because it was a performance.
Yeah.
And I landed my front foot like fully rolled, and like if you stop the video, like it's completely like folded in as I'm like standing on it, and I like fell to the ground. And luckily, like the leap was like a leap and then like to the ground.
Yeah.
So I kind of just stayed there, and then I finished the entire dance because of like adrenaline, and like I didn't really have a choice.
Oh my God, that's my biggest fear.
I know. So
The
after
adrenaline
that,
helps you though.
it really does. And I was in so much pain, but I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
So I like just finished the dance somehow. And then I like crawled off of stage afterwards. And keep in mind, like I was a freshman. I was on this dance team for like 2 months. I didn't really have any friends and it wasn't like the best environment of a dance team. I didn't really like this vibe. And every single person walked past me on the floor as I'm like in pain.
Yeah.
And I had to get myself down.
No one helped you?
Nobody helped me.
That's so awful.
Nobody helped me. Yeah.
So awful.
And so then I like, and sometimes I don't know if this happens to you guys, but whenever I get hurt, I'm like, am I being dramatic? Like I'm like, I don't know.
I'm always being dramatic.
I always think I'm like being dramatic. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't take it seriously. So then I kind of like just waddled my way up the stairs. I met my friends after the performance and then they like helped me walk home and I just went to bed and I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
And the next day I took my sock off and it's like the size of a golf ball.
Yeah.
It swole so bad. And so I like,
Swole.
it's it got so swollen. It was swollen. No, it got so bad. And so I had to ask two of my friends, like, keep in mind, this is freshman year of college. Your friends are like, they're coming in and out. Like, you don't really know people that well. So I had to ask two of my friends who are now like, I'm close friends with them now. But they had to go like all the way across campus, get me like the wrap, whatever the
like the tape or something.
Yeah, the tape wrap for like my ankle.
Gauze.
And then I still didn't go to the doctor because I just wanted to push through it. And I'm like getting worse and worse. And then I eventually went to like physical therapy. I think it was like January. And this happened in October.
Yeah.
So 3 months of just hoping that it'll get better.
Sprains
And
last a while.
It lasts a while. And honestly, I'm very mad at myself for doing that because not going to the physical therapist right away, my ankle is so much weaker now. And I noticed that because I haven't tapped a lot in college.
You can still work on that, you know.
No, I know there's like strengthening, like ways to strengthen your
get
ankle.
into later.
But I noticed as a tapper, my left foot is not nearly as strong as my right foot anymore. And like my left foot was always like slightly behind because I'm a righty, but like now it's just so far behind. It doesn't tap as quickly, and I'm so frustrated because it really like held my foot back. You know, like it's crazy, but. Yeah, that's my ankle story. What about you, Becca?
Actually, I was thinking about it, and you guys have like traumatic injuries, and I don't think I've ever had like an injury where I injured myself based off of.
Of course, you haven't. I'm just kidding.
No,
Wait,
like based off of like something happened in dance. I broke my ankle and my elbow when I was a cheerleader, but other than that, when I was a dancer, like it was
like a slow progression. Yeah. I've had those too.
Yeah. So my like main problem is that I have like really bad foot problems.
Yeah.
I always joke that I could be like a foot doctor because I know so much about feet because of the fact that I have so many foot problems. I have a really high arch, which is why I can like point my toe well. Yeah. I've noticed that too.
Must be nice.
A high instep.
It never touches the floor.
Yeah. When I've gotten like
I could slide a hot dog under it.
Yeah.
I was just kidding. Maybe half of a hot dog.
No, but like actually, which is amazing. Like I do it every day. It's like my favorite pastime.
Like you go to the store, buy hot dogs just to see if you can like slide it under your feet.
Meyer.
Why did that come in your head?
That's like the #1 hot dog brand in like what is
Nathan's.
Oh, it's Nathan's.
Is
like
it?
the hot dog eating contest.
Anyway, so you have high arches.
I have high arches, so I get really bad like foot problems because it's so much like tension and pulling because you're constantly having to like support your feet. And because of that, I have just always dealt with really bad foot pain. Like there'd be times where I wouldn't be able to walk. And so it got really, the more I'm dancing, the more it gets like worse. I've had this problem since I was in high school.
Do you have like plantar fasciitis?
No.
What's it called?
No, I thought that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, fasciitis.
That's like the most common foot problem you can get. And it's
What is
similar.
chronic?
It's like pain in like the bottom of your heel.
You have to like roll it out a lot, and you have to wear special shoes and arch supports and everything.
It's like for like a lot of like older people get it.
Oh,
but even younger people.
Younger people get it too, but that's not what mine is.
I wanted to ask you guys: have either of you ever suffered a concussion?
Yes.
Oh, I know you have. Okay,
Yes.
same.
Okay.
Can I just touch on this really quick?
Yeah.
So through my time at college, a college that let in a lot of people who have never danced before. That was shade, by the way. They would get let into the dance shows with the people who have been trained their whole life. And
no, that is literally a liability and dangerous.
Yeah. And so nobody had spatial awareness. We were in a rehearsal for a show. Literally we were teching. Okay. We're on stage. There's this one section of the dance where your leg fans and comes down really fast. Everybody's all together, like 15 dancers on stage. I'm right next to this one dancer and their leg just slammed on the side of my head.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you saw the move, you would know like it's not easy to do that if you're spatially aware and have been dancing for a while. You know how to not let that happen. But it happened, hit me right in the head. And immediately I was like I was so mad.
Oh yeah, I'd be mad.
I had a duet in this show and I was looking forward, and I was only a freshman. So I was really looking forward to performing it.
Right.
And I had worked so hard, all those rehearsals. I go backstage, we're waiting. I don't tell anybody right away because I was shocked and I was like, maybe it's not bad.
And maybe you had some brain damage.
Yeah, like I didn't really know what to do. So I kept going through the show, but at the end, I was like, I need to say something because one, it's for my health.
Absolutely.
And two, like they need to know. And so I told the stage manager, I told everybody, and they were like, oh no, like, do you need an ice pack? And I'm like, no, I need that to not happen to me. Like,
right.
bottom line. But I couldn't perform. So I had to get dropped from the show. My understudy took my spot. And it was just a really bad recovery as well, because when you get a brain injury, it makes you feel foggy. You get dizzy. You feel like you're in a dream. It's like when you look somewhere, it's like delayed. How long
did it take you to recover?
Man, like probably a little over a month or two. Like,
wow,
honestly.
Yeah.
And so I went to my school's physical therapy area the next day and I told the lady there, I said, hey, I got kicked in the head yesterday and I have a concussion, I think. What's your advice? And she looked me dead in the face and she goes, oh, you only got kicked in the head. That's not that bad.
What?
No, yeah, literally. She said that to me.
I didn't even get kicked in the head to get my concussion.
She said that to me. And I was like, are you serious right now? It's not that bad. How dare you? You're a professional. Like, how can you say something like that? And it made me even more upset.
The fact that you were able to like did you stand up for yourself?
No, I couldn't really say anything to that. I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
And also it's the brain fog, right? But like.
Yeah, no, literally.
At my college, you can't really sit out of class and take notes. You kind of just have to be there and dance, or you get an absence for the day. That was the policy.
And so you had to keep dancing?
Yes, even though I got injured due to the school,
and I still probably injured it worse.
I had to keep dancing on an injury, and you only get 3 absences before you fail the class. And I never got any absences because I didn't want to have an emergency like this and not be able to use it. But even still with this concussion, I couldn't use it. So that was a terrible situation. And then I got like 2 more after that. Down the line.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You both know my traumatic concussion story.
Yeah.
But I shall share it with the audience because it was traumatic. All concussions are traumatic.
They really are.
But
I don't wish it upon anyone.
No. It was this past year in October, and we were doing like our show, the dance show for this semester. And I was in a piece, and we were in rehearsals for the piece, and the choreographer was like, I want to try something out with you guys. Like, let's try this out. And we did it. And it was basically like, you know, like you're like whipping your hair like back and forth. And you're like,
yes.
So it was basically doing that.
Hairography.
Yeah, like hairography for a minute straight. And we were just in the room and she was like just yelling at us, being like, faster, faster.
Oh gosh.
She's like, you're at a 3 right now. Move up to a 5.
Would she
move up to a 7. Move up. Oh yeah.
You're gonna get whiplash.
No, she wouldn't do that to herself.
Literally, she was like, I did this in my solo when I was like a kid. Like, this is what I did when I was younger. And so we're doing it during the warm up. Some girl passes out on the floor. Straight up. Yeah, no, she passed. Someone passed out.
How many people were in this class?
There was like 16 of us in the piece.
That should have been her limit right there. Cut. We're doing something else.
Yeah, no. Well then, okay. Well,
oh my God.
So I think this is a really good lesson. This is why I'm sharing it. But after we finished the exercise and the girl passed out and she stood up and she was like, I'm fine, whatever. Like the choreographer did not even care. She's like, oh, okay, weird. And then she was like, oh, what did you guys think about that? And everyone was like, I hated that.
Whoa.
That was terrible. That made me feel terrible. I felt like I was going to pass out. She was like, I did pass out. And then I raised my hand and I was like, actually, like, it was kind of fun.
You said did not say that, Becca.
I said, I don't know if it's because my hair's down right now because I like always dance with my hair down.
No, you did.
But it was like kind of fun, which it was. And she goes,
Becca will soon regret those words.
And she comes up to me and she was one of those like really into zodiac signs. So like the first rehearsal, she was like, what's your zodiac sign? Whatever. And she's an Aries and I too am an Aries. So she comes up to me.
I too.
Yeah.
I too
She
am an
comes up
Aries.
to me and she goes, that's not why. Like, that's not why you liked it because your hair's down. It's because you're an Aries.
What?
That's why I like it too.
Oh.
She's like, you want it? It's yours. I go, I don't want it. She goes, own it. She goes, own it.
And then she crowned the hair whipper
so then
of the
she
dance.
gave me a 2-minute solo where at the end of the piece, I literally just do that for 2 minutes straight.
2 minutes straight?
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, no, it's
Wait,
bad.
I don't remember this.
Did I not tell you this?
You were in the conversation.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
obviously, I wasn't
No, I
supposed to
don't
be.
remember this. 2 minutes of that?
Yeah, so I did it. So basically, I'm doing this all week during rehearsals. And that weekend, I end up getting a really bad migraine going to the emergency room because I was in the worst pain of my life. And I was like, I think I have a concussion because I'm doing this crazy thing with my head. I go to the emergency room. They basically tell me that I am fine. You can't get a concussion. You can't get a concussion unless you hit your head.
That's
But
not
because-
true at all.
But because you didn't hit your head, it's like impossible. And I go, you don't understand what I'm doing.
yeah,
Like, I am.
people can get concussions from whiplash.
Exactly.
It's severe movement of the
Right.
head and the brain.
Exactly. And so they basically just said like, okay, well, take Advil, you're fine. And they sent me home. And then I just continued to do that for the next month straight. And I had a concussion then. And then I just kept doing the move like every single
my
rehearsal,
God.
basically every day. And I was just getting more and more of a concussion.
Becca.
So we had a show, and the show, it was like 4 shows, 4 dress rehearsals.
Oh my
So
God.
8 shows total one weekend.
Of like full
Of
out,
me
head
full
whipping
out,
for 2
yeah,
minutes.
of me full out doing it. And by the end of the week, I could not like see straight.
Oh my God.
I remember.
And I still didn't know if I had concussion. I went to PT the next day because I had neck problems because of
course.
whipping my head.
Right.
And the PT woman was like, you have a concussion. And then finally, luckily
And
my
you were like,
school
I
is
knew.
really
I
good
know
with
that.
injuries. Yeah, luckily my school is really good with injuries.
That's good.
So I moved into, it's called transitional classes. So I basically just didn't dance for like a month.
Wow.
And it's terrible because it affects your mood too, concussions.
Yeah.
it does.
But I
You get
think
really, like,
something
bad
I
at
wish I
everything.
would have done was like spoke up for myself. Like when I was having these issues and stuff,
Yeah.
I've always been taught as a dancer to like say, yes, 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 I can do this. Like I'll do that head whipping thing that literally gave me a concussion and like ruined my entire semester. But it's when it's something like that small, it is not worth it.
It is not
like
worth
no
it
one is
ever.
gonna like remember or care that I did that in a
No.
show, and
No.
it wasn't worth it.
It's
Was
not even
that
dancing,
teacher-
so it doesn't matter to
She
you
was
either.
a choreographer. She was brought in from outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like if you let her down, it wasn't the end of the world.
No, but also like
You just don't want to let anyone down. It's hard.
I just always learned
hard,
like you
yeah.
have to say yes to whatever.
right.
And that's not true.
Yeah, and it's
No,
not
it's
true
not.
because
Have boundaries.
yeah, the way like your
Especially
body is
like
more
health
important.
and safety comes first for
Yeah.
sure. And keep that in mind, please.
And yeah, definitely that's what we want to like try to tell you guys talking about like our experiences with this is don't make the same mistakes as we did and like get help for your injuries. Whenever I'm feeling
Get help.
anything, my number one like action is just to fix it.
It's okay to
And-
speak up for
yeah,
yourself.
right.
And it's not you being rude or like, oh, I'm better than everyone.
Or lazy or
Yeah,
anything.
no. It's a personal boundary and it's you taking care of your body so that you can dance for a long time.
You know your body the best. Take care of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll share my concussion story. I don't think I told you guys this
No.
actually.
No, I had no idea you had a concussion
Yeah,
ever.
so this was senior year of high school. This was probably like January of senior year, and we took out like the gymnastics mats because we were doing some tricks in our hip hop number that we were
Vibes.
kind of just like playing around. And then I think like someone did a back handspring, and I was like, oh, like I used to be able to do that because I told this to Becca actually. I did gymnastics for 11 years. I don't know if you
she's
did that.
never told me.
Yeah,
that.
I
but
forget.
I know because you always do like acro stuff.
I know. I love handstands. Yeah.
yeah.
No, like I love doing gymnastics. I lost a lot of it because
Yeah.
like I stopped doing it in 7th grade, but I was very into it when I was younger, and then like dance picked up.
Yeah.
But they pulled out the gymnastics mat, and I was like, oh, like I used to do a back handspring. Like I should try it. And they were like, maybe you shouldn't do that. And I was like, okay, someone could spot me. And this girl was like, yeah, I could spot you. Like, how do you do that? And I was like, oh, like all you have to do is like just like put your hands out. I know this is my own
Lexi.
fault. I know. So I was like, all you have to
Wow.
do is put your hands out. And she got down on one knee and her knee was out.
No.
So when I went to do the back handspring, I whacked my head into her knee.
Stop.
No. That's not the worst part.
I thought,
After I
okay.
fell, I was like, let me try it again. So
me
I
do it
did it again. I did it 2 times.
Lexi.
I actually did a back handspring last summer and I got it, but that's not the point of the story. So I got a concussion
Congratulations.
from that. And then I kind of just like moved on. Like I didn't go to the doctor
Yeah,
or anything.
That's awful.
I don't know. I mean, I assume that you guys can relate to this. I feel like because dance teachers are so immersed like in the dance world and using your body and being around a lot of injuries, a lot of dance teachers know like just a lot about like anatomy and stuff. And I had one dance teacher specifically, her name was Miss Marissa, and she knew just like everything when it came to like what was wrong, how to fix it, like the target area of this. Like she was always the person that I would go to anytime I was in pain. And I still did that in college. Like I would text her and I'd be like, hey, like, how are you? I know I haven't talked to you in like 3 months, but my leg hurts. And she'd be like, okay, where? What happened? What did you do? Do this. Like, and it's just so great to have one of those dance teachers that know, like, it felt like my own personal doctor. Like she was so great when it came to like any sort of injury prevention. And I just loved having her in my life. And I still have her in my life anytime that like something's wrong, because I'm still dancing. I'm still getting injured every now and then. And I can go to her and I know that someone is actually gonna listen to me, see what's wrong, and do their best to help me. And it's just like it's just so special to have like someone like that in your lives. And I don't know if you guys had like you didn't have a dance teacher that knew all about like the body and how to help it?
No.
Really?
No. Well, I had in college, we took some like PT kind of classes, kinesiology.
Okay.
And one of my teachers freshman year was very attentive with the way she taught, but we didn't have her phone number and like we couldn't talk to her like that. But I did learn a lot in her class, which was still good.
No, yeah.
I don't think I've
helpful.
ever had a teacher like that.
I feel like it's very different in high school versus college, because for college, you're coming in for 4 years and then you're leaving, and they have so many students in and out that like the relationship that you develop, and I mean, this might just be for me, but the relationship that you develop with your college dance teachers are very different than the studio owners that you grew up with.
I feel like
I had so many teachers that watched me grow up, like from, because I was at the same studio my entire life. So they were able to see me grow from like 2 years old to 18 years old.
Yeah.
So I feel like obviously I'm going to have more of a connection with them, especially because they wanted the best for me. And then at college, it's like, you're just going there to pay money and get your degree, you know, and they're doing their job. Like it's nothing like special with like a relationship, but that's just me in my school. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was also very lucky to have a teacher growing up in high school that was like very big on injury prevention and stuff. She like owned a Pilates studio and was a Pilates teacher, Emily Zachary Smith.
Oh. I've heard you say that name before.
Yeah, she's like
I've
Tremaine
taken her
faculty.
classes at Tremaine.
Yeah, we've actually taken the same class.
Well, yeah,
before we
this is
met
crazy.
in
Me and
2019.
Becca were at the same dance convention in 2019, but we didn't know each other.
Wow.
And then once we like actually met through TikTok and everything, we did
She
some
like
digging.
stalked my account.
I don't think that happened.
saw
I think
a
you
video
stalked
of
my
me.
account. No, we somehow figured it out, and then we're like, oh my god, like that was this year. Like you were there, I was there. Like it's just like
That's
small
crazy.
world.
Yeah. So Emily, she taught at my studio when I was growing up, and she kind of started getting really interested in injury prevention. Well, she's always been, but it was really great for me because I would like train with her. She kind of like helped me when I started dance late to like catch up to everyone else.
Right.
So with that, we would do like private lessons and stuff. And I did a lot of strength training, but a lot of it was like injury prevention stuff because it was like very targeted. So now whenever I have any injury, like I know like 12 exercises to like fix them.
Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
great. And I think more studios should offer things like that and classes like that and hire people who have expertise in that field as well.
Also, I just
Absolutely.
feel like as a dance teacher, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I like grew up being so surrounded by it, but like as a dance teacher, you should know like how to take care of
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
like your students' bodies.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm
you
saying.
should not be forcing your students to do like over splits or anything like that because
Right.
that is so detrimental to
Absolutely.
the body.
And something that I've noticed, especially when like competition season or recital season picks up, they don't really give the students a lot of time to stretch in the beginning, and they don't lead a full stretch. And it's like, that is so important.
Which we talked a
And,
lot
like,
about in our teacher episode. Like,
Absolutely.
listen.
And like I've heard dance teachers, and like this is college and just like all over the place, they'll be like, oh, like try to stretch before you get here. But it's like, I have class.
no.
And like this was actually an issue. I had hip hop this semester, and like the teacher would go right into the warm up, and it was a lot on your feet. And like I too have like a lot of
Foot problems.
foot issues. Yeah. And like I
Yeah.
had to get like insoles and
Feet
stuff.
chat is actually
Feet chat.
the name of our podcast.
But I remember going up to the teacher and I was like,
It's not.
do you think that you can give us maybe like 5 minutes in the beginning just to stretch and like warm up our feet? And he was like, can you do it before And I was like, I have biology. I come straight from biology class. Like, I don't have time
You're
to do
stretching
that.
your feet in biology.
Me just like,
You're like,
oh, let
stretching
me
my
do
feet in the middle of a
LMAs.
lecture hall. Yeah.
This is kind of another topic we'll touch on more in another episode, but that happens in auditions too. They're like, come warmed up.
Right.
And it's like, what? I'm driving here.
Yeah, we can.
Right.
Should I do the
We're
splits in my
paying
car?
Right.
to be here.
Well, you know what? Becca can, because she can have her Tesla
Yeah.
drive
Different.
drive itself, and
Not
she
my
can
car.
go
Not my
stretching
car.
in the car. So obviously we have our fair share of injury stories, as does many dancers out there.
Those are just a few.
Those are just a few. We could go on for
Yeah, we
probably
hope
hours.
you learned from this not to be as dumb as the rest of us,
Yes.
especially Lexi.
Yeah.
It's really what it comes down to is be a smart dancer, because smart dancers are good dancers. Don't feel ashamed to talk to your teacher if you're feeling uncomfortable or injured, because it's just going to get worse if you push it to the side.
Quit the team if they all ignore you when you're sitting on the floor with a swollen ankle.
If the ER tells you that you're faking it, don't listen to them.
Get a new ER.
Moral of the story, don't let inexperienced dancers partner you with back handsprings and speak up for yourself.
And don't dance next to non-dancers.
Correct.
Yes.
Thanks you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode and stay tuned for the next one.
Bye, guys.